Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of August. I'm Andrew Gagan. Let's check the markets. And Wall Street ending the session lower as US House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi arrived in Taiwan despite threats from China. And a trio of Fed speakers signalled they would stay completely united in getting interest rates up in a bid to curb inflation. Searches for bull market are at their highest level since mid-June, when talk of bull and bear markets exploded as the S&P and 500 sank to a loss of more than 20% from its January record high close there. Well, stocks specifically, Advanced Micro Devices rallying ahead of its quarterly report after the bell, as shares of chip makers heavily exposed to China were mixed. Just on the earnings front, and Uber shares jumped after the ride-hailing firm reported positive quarterly cash flow for the first time ever and forecast upbeat third quarter operating profit. Elsewhere, industrial bellwether Caterpillar tumbled despite its quarterly earnings beating estimates, the company warning of a bigger drop in demand for its excavators in China, piling more pain on the industry already grappling with supply chain disruptions. And Starbucks shares fell despite reporting better than expected quarterly earnings and revenue, the company saying that inflation and higher wages for baristas weighed on its margins this quarter. Well, US job openings have fallen to their fewest since September last year as demand for workers eases in retail and wholesale trade industries. The JOLTS survey showed openings fell more than 600,000 to 10.7 million in June, the largest decline since April 2020 when the economy was reeling with the first wave of COVID. Well, at least 4.2 million workers voluntarily quit their jobs in June while retrenchments declined. Meanwhile, Fed officials have reiterated that the central bank will do what it takes to tame inflation. Chicago Fed President Charles Evans saying the Fed could raise interest rates by 50 basis points at its next policy meeting in September if high inflation does not improve, while 75 basis points is also possible. He's saying if you really thought things weren't improving, 50 is a reasonable assessment, but 75 could also be okay. I doubt there would be more would be called for. And San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly has said the bank's work of bringing down inflation is nowhere near done, saying the number of people who can't afford this week what they paid for with ease 6 months ago just means our work is far from done. And she appeared to reject market expectations that the Fed will be cutting rates by late next year as the economy weakens, saying the outlook, I think, is most likely is that we will raise interest rates and then we will hold them there for a while at whatever level we think is appropriate. US Treasury yields have rebounded on those comments, and given those escalating tensions between the US and China, the 10-year rising to 2.75% and the 2-year back above 3%. Major currencies were weaker against the US dollar, the Aussie trading at around 69.6 US cents following a steep fall on yesterday's RBA policy decision. Well, the local share market is expected to open lower this morning off the back of weakness on global markets. ASX futures currently off 0.15%. Global oil prices have edged higher ahead of the OPEC Plus meeting tonight. Brent crude sitting just above $100 a barrel. And there's been little movement in iron ore futures while base metal prices ease. Nickel down more than 4.5%. And gold continues to shine, the futures price up modestly, while some weakness remains in the crypto market. That does it for the day ahead. We'll see you again tomorrow.